Memphis and how they played, noted that with some of the shots going off, that can't for the whole team. The defense can't slip some. What did you see in this one, kind of starting early?
Not sure. I'll watch it and see kind of where and what.
Was there anything, Russ, and with the understanding you got to watch the game first, but that you noticed you guys building these last 4 games that just wasn't quite there tonight?
A few things. I mean, you can't pinpoint one particular thing, but definitely some things we just a step slow on.
Russ, this is game 41 for you guys, so the halfway point of the season. So obviously tend to pull back and look at the big picture. How do you feel about where you guys are at the midway point? Obviously the record's probably not where you wanted it, but how do you feel about this team at this moment in time?
I mean, I guess we're moving in the right direction. Other than tonight, that's how you can worry about is the next game. Figure out you want to be playing your best towards the end of the year.
Russ, from a point guard's perspective,
go ahead, Dave.
Okay. I wanted to know what you made of Ja Morant's impact, considering you play the same position, and just what you could say about how he, particularly the chase down he had on Avery.
You talking about just a play or what? Just a play. It's a block. It's a block.
And just overall, what he brings to that group.
Big for them. Bring their downhill speed. Puts pressure on the defense. Does a good job of doing that consistently, which makes him, hard to guard.
Russ, to kind of Bill's point about being at the halfway point, the schedule in a lot of ways is sort of broken for you guys in a favorable sense at this point. Memphis is a team that's won 9 in a row and stuff like that. What does this team need to do to be more to be in these games against the better teams? Because obviously, I'm sure you guys are aware the schedule is about to get a lot harder.
I don't have the answer to that one.
Russ, you told us a couple times, your game is not predicated on scoring, and there's a ton of ways you can contribute, and obviously we've seen that throughout the winning streak that preceded this. But are there also nights like tonight, especially while AD is hurt, that you sort of look at your scoring and think, the team is going to need more from me?
I mean, I already know that already, but, just based on position and where I'm at on the floor, just
about how this game might have contrasted with the last couple that you played, and how much of that was you, how much was Memphis?
Well, I want to credit Memphis first. They played great. They've been playing great. They're one of the hottest teams in the league. Not having Adams out there, obviously he's a big part of what they do, but they get a little faster and a little more spread out and a little more difficult to guard in some ways. So we had trouble, getting back in transition. And, I thought this is one of those games where, we let a lot of misses at the basket affect our defensive focus. When we weren't scoring, we lost focus of what we're supposed to be doing on the defensive side, and that can't happen. Obviously that was a big reason they built a big lead.
Frank, I just wanted your vantage point of the chase down block that Ja Morant had on Avery Bradley, just in terms of the rarity of seeing a guy get it with 2 hands like that. And, he didn't score 40 against you guys today, but he made his presence felt.
Yeah, that was a special play from a special player. I don't know what else there is really to say about it. I think it was clean. I didn't see any replays or anything, but he's a special player. So that was a hell of a play.
Frank, aside from LeBron, the rest of the starters were 8 for 39. What do you chalk that up to? Is it just one of those nights where guys just aren't hitting shots?
A lot of guys having a tough night all at once. And credit Memphis' defense. They're a good defensive team. They force a lot of turnovers, and they break rhythm. So we were just a little out of sync. But like you said, a number of guys having tough nights all at the same time.
Frank, we've talked a lot about Russ and kind of trying to figure out good games, bad games, and different things like that. Obviously, tonight didn't impact the game really, I would imagine, in the way that you wanted. Was it a step back tonight, just an off night? What did you kind of make of the way he played?
Yeah, he had a tough night finishing at the basket for whatever reason tonight. And, he just got to play through that. He was not alone. A lot of our team, struggled to finish, either finishing open threes on the backside or finishing, quality looks at the basket. And like I said, I feel like our group let that impact, our defensive focus and intensity, and that can't happen.
Frank, we all saw AD on the floor before the game in a brace, but looked pretty comfortable shooting. Was that the most he's done so far? And are you encouraged by where he's at in terms of the whole recovery process?
Yeah, the only thing we're saying about AD is that we'll have an update after 4 weeks, but he has been doing some shooting.
Frank, I know you've talked about you're missing some parts of your team, and you talked about, come postseason, we hope to look very different. But, the last 3 games against Memphis, a team that's just a little bit above you guys in the standings, does that feel like a little bit of a referendum on sort of the difference between those 2 teams right now? And is that motivating for your group to kind of get in that upper tier?
Yeah, we're motivated to be in the upper tier. We wanted to get this game and take another step.
80-56. They put up 38 in the second, shot 73% from the field. Then they backed that up and put up 42 in the third, built up a 29-point lead.
Memphis, they're the real deal. Led by a great player in Ja. They're very athletic. And, they play the small ball. So if the Lakers wanted to see the real version of it, they saw it against Memphis. 62 points in the paint, a lot of things we talked about that they just could not allow. And that was one of them, 62 points in the paint. Greg's got 25 fast break points. We can look at the numbers, but it's just the way Memphis play. And the Lakers, even though they're trying to play small ball, they just couldn't match up against this team tonight. They're a good team, really good team.
Yeah, this matchup, the speed difference, like the fast break points, 25-10, that's one thing, but you could see the difference between how fast, if the Lakers missed a shot or turned it over, they had absolutely no chance of getting back and slowing this team down. And the thought I was in the middle of was the Lakers have had success with this smaller lineup and the offensive efficiency really jumping up over the last couple weeks. And the defensive side of the basketball, while it's been okay, it hasn't been great. So then when you run up against a team that is really good
And on fire.
and playing well, it kind of highlights and puts the light back on the reality